selected as Hispanic Magazine's Entrepreneur of the Year for the nation. We were considered one of the fastest growing companies in Denver. Denver Business Journal gave us several awards for that. But it was never easy. I mean, we had to work really hard. And I always say, you know, I was talking to some folks here earlier this evening, you know, you have to lead by example. And I believe in, you know, you work half days, 12-hour days. And that's 7 days a week. But I was there before any employee. I was the last person always late. I never asked anybody to do anything that I wouldn't do. And then I also learned how to do the entire operation of my company. For example, I installed our first accounting system. I'm a geek, I'm an engineer. What do I know about accounting? I didn't. I had to install it 3 times because I screwed it up twice. And this was at 2, 3 in the morning that I'm doing this because again, you're doing the day, you're busy working. And, but I finally got it right. I understood it. And I knew how our accounting system worked. And that was critical for our success, especially when you're working with the federal government, because they come in and they audit you constantly. I mean, and they look at every little thing that you do. And they will question everything you do. It's worse than the IRS. So I learned accounting. I learned HR. I learned contracts. And so I understood the entire business side, how to run it. And sometimes you probably wonder, well, why am I doing this? Why can't I have somebody help me do the HR, or I don't understand it, you know, I should just hire somebody. No, I think you should actually do it yourself. Learn the hard way. Okay, you're going to make some mistakes. You know, and by the way, if you're not making mistakes, you're not trying hard enough. And if you're making the same mistake more than once, obviously you're not learning. So don't make the same mistake twice. And if you do, then ask yourself what's going on. But, you know, over the years, we grew $1,000. No other investment in the company. No one lent us any money. No one did anything for us. And we grew from 1 employee, myself, to 400 employees. We had 10 offices in the country. We were in Afghanistan. We were in Iraq. We were in Somalia. And we did work all over the world. And it was just incredible. And then, again, I was always learning, and you will always learn, okay? You got to push the envelope. For example, how do you take care of your employees when they're in Iraq? How do you provide them with insurance? What about kidnapping and ransom insurance? And, you know, it's like, we got to figure this out. Because, I mean, when am I going to tell somebody's spouse if they get kidnapped or something happens to them? Okay? Because there's the 2 most important things that I know about a business, that it's about the customer and about the employee. You take care of those 2 things, and life is pretty easy in reality. Because who takes care of the customer? Your employee. Without customers, you can't hire people. So it's a big revolving circle. If you take care of those 2 things, it's amazing what happens. Always hire the very best. Yes, they will be smarter than you. They better be smarter than you. I used to micromanage everybody because, you know, I know it all. No, I didn't know it all. But I found out is that they knew a lot more than I did about things. And I didn't learn to trust them. And that's why they were there. I listened to them, they gave me advice and guidance, and then I made decisions from them. But as we grew, the headaches got bigger. And also, the opportunities got bigger. Like I said, we were 400 employees. We were doing about $40 million in sales a year. It was pretty neat. But it was also, you know, I always planned ahead for everything. That's one thing I learned. What do you do? Why do you do a business plan? I'm not sure this is what Casa teaches, but the reason you do a business plan is not for the business plan. It's for the thought process that goes into the business plan. It forces you to think through things and plan. Plan for good and bad. And I always plan for good and bad. We're going to go do this. But if it doesn't work, what's my backup plan? And if you always have a backup plan, no matter what happens, you're ready. And so from the very beginning, we had that. And at the very end, We started planning for the seller company 3 years in advance. And we had to make some drastic changes in the company because no one would really buy us because we didn't have what they wanted. So we got to tweak what we were doing, how we were doing it, our customers, how we treated our employees, everything, so that it was very attractive to a buyer. So when we decided to sell, we actually had 7 offers on the table. And talk about getting excited. I mean, it's, you know, one offer is exciting. But now you have 7 and they're actually competing against each other. And we're talking about the big companies, the Lockheed Martins of the world, the Boeings. They were all looking at us and they were all very interested in what we had to offer. And, you know, we took the best offer for the employees and for myself. And we sold, and then I proceeded to stay with them for a little while.